Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8 of the Duel. We are 2 months in to our productions, and so far it's been quite amazing with your hosts, D. Hearn, BJJ, and
Jules, aka Vibe. It's been 2 months
it's
already.
been 2 months. Episode 8. If we technically weekly basis, 4 weeks in a month, we did our basic math. We just did first grade math, 4 times 2. That's eight, 8 weeks, 2 months, and we're having a great time. But to
Uh,
kick off this great time, I think we got to discuss something that gave us quite the excitement for from this week, and that comes from a great production company named Sucker Punch Entertainment that is making the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima named Ghost of Yotei. Now, Ghost of Yotei is going to be released October 2nd of this year, so not too long of a wait. It gives you enough time to play the first game if you haven't. I know somebody in our friends group, Jules, that has the first game that I personally handed to him, had a handshake on it, and he has not played it yet. So I guess it's time to start it before it's too late, and then be thanked
I
later.
mean,
Just like the Drake album, "Thank Me Later."
I would definitely say you don't need to play the first game
Yeah, you
because
do,
Ghost of Yotei isn't really a direct sequel, but you
but
should
you
still play
do.
the game because Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. Like
Yeah,
that's top tier right there.
because the Ghost of Yotei, I can't pronounce it properly, but
Yotei
the
Yotei is fun.
yeah. The main thing is the game is taking place not like over 100 years after the events of the first game, so it's not gonna have any direct tie in terms of a sequel. However,
Mhm.
knowing games like this that they deal with the title of the game, there's gonna be some elements that will definitely be talked. He was the ghost of Tsushima. What he did against Genghis Khan's grandson, whichever the case may be, is going to be noted. So not to give too much spoilers to it,
Right.
but
Those events of the first
the
game.
events of the first game got to play into this because there's no way that being a ghost is just a given state, a given title.
No,
You got to
man.
earn it.
Nah, but
So
given state of play, given state of play, they were like, "This is a brand new story. This is a brand new character. Like, we're not gonna see anything about Jin. Jin's past and Jin's story is what Jin did. Now we have this new character, and she's gonna be badass, and she's gonna be the ghost of Yotei.
and
It's a new island.
New Island, yes, New Island. If you, I believe Shishime is an actual island. We're not the best geographers, clearly, but we
Tsushima,
graduate
by the way.
Shishima. We graduated college and all that, but not the best on the geographics. So please bear with us. However, we did pay attention to that state of play, and that's how you do a state of play. That is exactly how you explain your game without giving out too much
Dude,
spoilers, understanding what they're bringing, what was different from the first game, or even elements that they're bringing back from the first game. That's how you dominate a state of play. Because if it was with the last one, I believe, the one before this, which was a just kind of nonsense announcements aside from the whole Marvel fighting game, this one definitely deserved their own state of play, and PlayStation orchestrated
no, bro,
beautifully.
I'm hyped about Ghost of Yotei right now because there's so much that this game is gonna deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, brand new world, brand new story, brand new character. They went all like Sucker Punch. They went all out on this one. Like everything from like I don't know how to explain like the UI, the menus, the character customizations, the characters you meet, the way the world works. You still have some of those like gameplay essences of like Ghost of Tsushima,
Mm-hmm.
but way better this time around. To where like it looks like it's gonna be like a Red Dead Redemption type of world, like where like you know how Rockstar makes their games to where like it's really immersive.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that, but with a Sony Sucker Punch like touch on it. That's gonna be amazing.
Well, a part of the details that they described was dependent on what side things you do, it does influence your story, whether it goes
Hmm.
towards your skill point, revealing the map, and I forget the last thing that they do, but revealing the map and boosting your skill points. Oh, probably weapons. Just getting early on weapons. You're probably like a level 2, and you're getting the rifle, which was supposed to be ideally at a level 8. Who knows? But they definitely give you the options in that RPG sense where wherever you want to go is where the game is going to take you.
Oh,
So,
this one, like Ghost of Yotai's new combat is very like it's enhanced compared to Tsushima because like the AI and the computer like
hmm
actually there's a thought process behind it and they actually react to the way that you react. Like there's action and reaction and it's not very like simplistic.
hmm
And like Yotei is very like from state to play, Simic is very focused on the weapons you use in combat against
yeah,
what type of enemy you're fighting. And it's crazy because like you can be in combat with a certain type of enemy, and depending on what you're using, the enemy will also switch their weapon to then counter you. So then you have to switch, and you can go back and forth, go back and forth. There's like katanas, spears, odachis. I forgot. There's
the
like a chain with like a
rifles,
wall.
yeah.
There's rifles, bow and arrows, dual swords. I forgot what the weapon's called.
Like not the one
Kusagama. It's like
from
that's
not the
like a
one from Kill
chain.
Bill 1 that she
Yeah, no,
was
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. The
Yeah.
one from Kilo, it's like a chain with the bolt, the spikes on it.
Yes.
Kursagama, something like that. I don't know what it's called.
Because
But
the
dude,
first game didn't have this amount of weapons involved. It was
no,
very
it
tactical,
was stance oriented.
stance
You had your
oriented, but you could
stances.
also be a ninja, but that was frowned upon in the samurai's eyes
Yeah.
to sneak attacks and so
But
forth. So this
this
one
is
is like,
different.
who cares? Bring all the ancient weapons and do your best. So
Yep.
it really makes you think about who you're gonna fight because each enemy's different and
But
ha-
and then it's gonna be more too. It's like so again, it's not being like how Jin's story is. You're like it's based off it's like more like the samurai way. This character Atsu, she's like a bounty hunter now.
mhm,
So you're essentially going out and exploring the world and going like I think I forgot what they're called. Oh, the Yotei Six,
the
Yotai
Ote
Six.
6. Yeah.
That's who you're taking down, and like being this bounty hunter, you're a mix between like a ninja and a samurai and everything
Mhm.
all at once. Like you go about it yourself. Like the skill tree is massive. There's numerous bounties and numerous like ways that it takes you to different parts of the world. Like it's a very like ninja focus, open world exploration. Like it's so insane.
So funny you say about the Yotai 6 was I saw something on Twitter that one of the Sly Cooper games that they had the whole clan and it was almost like a side by side picture that Sucker Punch like never steers away from their original content and it was at one point Sly was fighting this group against the Yotai 6 and it's almost identical. Now, I didn't get to play so much like Cooper. I don't know why when I was growing up because
What
I was very limited on what games I could purchase because I would just love buying video games growing up. So my mom, my dad definitely did not let me buy as many. So this is why I'm almost 30 years old playing old games now. So I want to be able to experience Sly Cooper.
go back go back and experience Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're going back and experiencing Borderlands right now, but Sly
That's
Cooper is also
yeah,
a classic.
that's definitely a different conversation. And also the good news is about these old games is that they're not 80 hours. They're maximum maybe 15, 20.
Yeah.
So that's
But
doable. But going back onto Ghost,
going
let's
back to Yote, another thing that really pulled me in, like Ghost of Yotei is gonna have these new visual and like audio styles,
mhm.
right? So they brought back the classic cinematic mode where you have it like in black and white. You have it like all Japanese, but in English subtitles. Like you have these very
Yes. So how
cinematic
did
like
you play it
pieces.
your first playthrough because in order to
My
platinum the
first
game you got to play
playthrough,
it twice.
my first playthrough, I played it normally. I didn't play anything like special.
English
At
language.
least Ghost of Tsushima, yeah, I just played it normal, English language regular. But then
Mhm.
I played it the second time in cinematic black and white mode. That game is beautiful. It's
No.
beautiful. So Yote, they brought that back.
You didn't do it right.
However,
I'm sorry.
they brought back two other modes, which I'm hype about, which is Wantabi mode and Mike mode. And Mike is they took director of what's it called? 13 Assassins, 16 Assassins. Um
I think it was
and
13
like
Assassins, yeah.
it's dude, it's like the combat, the camera's super close. Like you have enhanced like mud effects and blood effects is very like aggressive and gory and like high intense.
Mhm.
Like it's good. Like it's gritty. It's very saturated. Like that is gonna be amazing. And the Wantabi mode is they worked with the composer and the directors of Samurai Champloo. So you have like these like lo-fi tracks that's super chill as you're playing throughout the whole game. So like I might replay this game like maybe four different times just to do the whole thing in like each different mode and get the like aspects of it. So I'm hyped about this one.
Yeah, I mean, in order to get this platinum, you definitely have to do. They're definitely gonna make you do a new game plus because in order to get the
We'll
platinum of the
see.
last one, you had to do it so that you can get one of the vendors that was not in the original playthrough. But the first time I did my playthrough, it was color and Japanese. I wanted to feel the experience and understand the story, and forces you to pay attention to the screen and not look at your phone because even though it might be like a drop that it's a filler point of the story, you're just forced to know what's happening because I don't speak Japanese, you don't
Mhm.
speak Japanese, so we just have to be forced to read the subtitles, which is great, and that's how a lot of animes are viewed too. People don't like the English dub; they love reading the subtitles and keep the eyes on the screen. So I
I
totally
watched
understand
so.
it. In the second playthrough, I did black and white English, and it was
Mhm.
nice. So I feel like that was
No.
the right play to do.
See, you did it. You did it the opposite of what I did. First playthrough I did full regular in color in English regular. Second one, all Japanese, no subtitles, black and white,
But it's
very
not the same
cinematic.
because you're
I
having
well,
to
I already know what's
you
happening
know
because
what's
I already beat
happening,
the
but it
game.
forces you to read. Get to learn some
No,
Japanese and really pay attention.
I turned off subtitles completely, just black and white, all Japanese.
Get out of here! No, you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you didn't.
because I know what's
Oh,
happening
so you
already.
know, like
So,
from what
because
happens in
again,
the
I
scene.
yes, you beat the
Yeah,
game regularly,
you
you
remember
get the
what
whole
they so
story, do it
the
again.
30 hours of that game, like the story. You were just like, oh yeah, I
Not,
remember what he was
hell
saying in
yeah,
that part. Yeah,
hell yeah,
right. You're such a no
hell
way,
yeah,
no way.
bro. You fucking up. You did the wrong way.
No,
See,
no
you
way.
did the wrong
Yeah,
way.
because I know
So
how
like,
to
do this
speak
one,
Japanese. Yeah.
do this one four different ways now, and don't mess this one up now.
Nah, I don't know, man, because that's. But what was it? What else was it in this? So I think the Fox is back, and also the Dual Sense. So thank God I got my controller here. So the big thing about this
The
game,
limited stuff.
guys, is about this controller. For those who haven't played, is not just my controller, obviously, but the Dual Sense. It was very immersive with this. So you feel the vibrations.
Yes,
You were forced to use the mouse pad. You had to literally swipe up on the mouse pad to know what direction you were going.
yes,
The colors would change on the mouse pad. The whole thing would just vibrate when the haptic triggers. When you pull back the heavy bow and arrow, it felt like you were
yeah.
literally pulling it.
Haptic, haptic feedback, haptic triggers, all that stuff. Like it was top tier. Was it the new Dual Sense is gonna have like the Ghost of Tsushima like style on it now? And then I think this one, like the whole world like exploration, like wind is a factor. The
Yeah,
way the trees move is a factor, so it helps you with directions. I saw something like instead of you like fast traveling all the
follow
time,
the flowers so that you
yeah,
get speed.
follow the flowers, the wind, yeah, like you move way faster. It's legit about just exploring the world and just enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I feel like the hot take that I gotta say is, I really hope that it's not a humongous world. For
Really?
example, so think about it when you think of a game like Ghost of Recon Wildlands, and then you go to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, how massive it
Mhm.
was that it just kind of didn't do the game justice. And was it really necessary to make the map that big? Because at the end of the day, you want to make it an average size map. Probably
That's
like I said, this is a hot
that's
take on my,
interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
but the map is good enough because Shime's map was great. Everywhere you went, there was always an action. It wasn't too far to travel to because it's an island at the end of the day. It's
Mhm.
not the United States of America where you to go one side to the other. And when you wanted to do the DLC, you went offshore, and that map wasn't that big either. It just had the action, it had the story. So that's what I'm just hoping for this game is just give us a great size map. It already has the detail. If you haven't seen the trailer, look it
Has a
on
lot of detail.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'd rather take detail than having a massive map.
But
That's where I'm trying to
so
get at.
to counter your point, but then also agree with it at the same time, like I enjoy huge maps. So like Ghost of Tsushima had it was a fairly large map though if you think about it. It wasn't that small. But
Compared to many
Ghost Go-
games,
Ghost
no, it was not that big of a map. I
Go-
gotta
Ghost
say.
of Tsushima having a large map, I feel like was enjoyable. Breakpoint Wildlands having a large map, I feel like it's very enjoyable. And Elden Ring having a large map is enjoyable. However, this is where things change because like the Division also has large maps per se, right?
Division.
Yeah, the Division like has somewhat of a large map. What's the other one? Red Dead. Red Dead also has
Well,
a
no, I
large
want to
map.
say definitely after because I just beat Death
Divisions
Stranding
have
2 is that map is
Death
just
Stranding.
is
That's a
just
large
it's
map.
massive. But here's a quick little thing: I hate the mountains in the game. I hate the snow. I
Oh yeah, but
literally spent like
that's
30
okay.
minutes trying to climb a mountain, but
But
that's a topic
let's
for a
go back,
different day.
right?
Yeah.
Large maps I feel like make games great because especially if it's an immersive and it's a story game, like you have this world that you're immersed in, you're in. However, large maps with no content, that's when it becomes a problem. Because if
Yes.
you have a large map and there's nothing to do and it's the same shit on repeat every POI
Yeah.
everywhere you go, then it's like, dude, like what's going on here? But if you have like Ghost of Tsushima, which is really good at this, Elden Ring is good at this, Red Dead is good at this, like, and hopefully Yotai is good at this, is that if you have a large map and it's very immersive and you have all these random encounters and like different things happening in the world,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the map feel great. And now if you have a large map that's very repetitive, like Ghost Recon, and you have Division, to where you're doing the same thing just different in POI, then it gets boring. So
Yeah.
there's a you have to have a good balance to it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. The but with those games, those production companies, I want to say, were already going on a downhill spiral, especially anything made from
Ooh,
Ubisoft. But Division games like that, where it's a looter extraction, that
yeah,
you kind of had to have that repetitive mass. I feel like it's a case by case in a sense.
you do not like Ubisoft.
Yeah, I really don't. I think, but then I'm the sucker that keeps on buying their games. So
Yeah, which I don't get.
I
So, but that's nothing. All right, so take this one, Valhalla. Valhalla, I heard was a huge map. Did you play Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
I haven't played Assassin's Creed since, which is the one where Ezio was the old guy. That's how long.
Damn, that's a while
That's a
ago.
while ago. So
That's a while ago.
I skipped a few
But that's nothing.
generations for it.
Again, Valhalla was a huge map. Ubisoft created a map, whatever. But that's where it became a like very contradicting because it was like you had a lot of stuff to do, right? But then the map
Hmm.
ended up getting repetitive. And some people are like, damn, the map is huge, but I'm doing the same thing in every single POI, similar to
Yeah.
Division. But you take something like Elden Ring and or something like Rockstar where they made Red Dead, and the map is huge, but you have every single part of the map you go to feels immersive. All the worlds feel different.
Okay.
The soundtrack, the music, the way the art style is, the enemies you face, the random encounters that you have in every single. It makes it feel like a world.
So that's what I'm hoping. I think that Ghost of Yotei is going to do is that each
Yes.
region that you go to is definitely going to be a different fight because remember there's 6 Yotei bosses that whatever
Mm-hmm.
the story had happened, so each one has to have its own style. And the one detail I don't think you paid attention to is that obviously in one of them you end up killing a boss. Is that there's this like I guess like white like towel that she have with like something that and each one has Japanese letters. And when she's done, she cleaned the blade off, and it was almost like she crossed out a name with the blood. So those are the little details I feel like everyone slept on was that this is a revenge game at the end of the day, and the revenge games are always the
That's
one that
pretty much
are
it.
the best in the business. So we'll see. I mean, this game is definitely going to be played day one for us. We're not gonna
Oh,
wait
and
on this. We're not gonna wait on a
I already,
PlayStation sale. So
I
you
already
already
pre-ordered it.
pre-ordered it.
I'm ready to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'd
would
rather pre-order the
say.
controller first than the. I mean, hey, look,
Listen, if you haven't seen it, I was gonna say go watch the state of play. Go watch
yeah,
the Go
it's
See
like a
Yotai state
15
of
minute.
play.
It
You
wasn't
can see your
bad,
feelings there.
but
20, yeah, like 15,
uh,
20 minutes. It wasn't bad at all, but dude, like they pack so much stuff into this game, and it's like to go at it case by case by case is gonna be too much. But I'm like, dude, just go enjoy yourself and see what we're talking
no,
about. Like
of
it's so much
course.
here.
And if you haven't done yourself the favor, you should play the first one. And with all these Amazon sales going on, let's see how much this thing is going for right
What,
now.
Tsushima?
Yeah,
So
never mind.
if you have PlayStation, you have PlayStation Plus, Ghost of Tsushima's included. I think
Even
you have
better.
PS Extra. It's
Even
included.
better. Even better. Pay the extra $20 if you don't have that or $30 and take that. That is
Oh, you can
it's
do that
definitely
too.
well worth it. And you'll thank us later. It's a great story game. And it's not long.
It's a
It
great
wasn't a
story.
long one.
Love it.
So you'll
No, it
definitely
wasn't. I would say though that if you're gonna go for the platinum though, it gets a little bit tedious because the world is kind of big and you're doing a lot of collectible stuff, but it's still enjoyable either way.
No, yeah, that was enjoyable to platinum. It was not. It did not feel like work from the games
No,
I'm currently doing
not
right
at
now.
all.
It did not feel like that at all. Especially where there's this game that's coming up next. Well, excuse me, the franchise that's coming up next that it feels like it's taking forever to platinum because I never knew that JRPGs are almost 100 hours long and
Yes,
very very
sir.
tedious. That feels more like a job. But I had to put a pause on it because it just took way too long that I'm gonna drive myself mad, and even my coworkers at work thought I was crazy for this. But
What game is this?
this is Final Fantasy, but we're not talking about Final
Oh,
Fantasy 16, which was the latest one. We're talking about that there has been some talks that they want to go back to the basics of what they were doing due to the success of your favorite video game of this year, Expedition 33. Now, for those who don't know, Final Fantasy used to be a turn-based game before it went into this whole
mm-hmm.
action-packed. You're mashing the square button, you're doing these
I would
combos and
say
so forth.
Final Fantasy X that changed.
I believe
I would say
so.
Final
Don't
Fantasy
quote me
X.
on. Don't quote us on it. We're not Final
Well,
Fantasy
because
experts, but
well,
if
I've played Final Fantasy since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
uh,
10, I believe, is when it went to less static turn based and more of like turn based, not like a parry system, but it was
it
counters.
was kind of turn-based.
And I think it was 12 that was like fully open world where you just go and like just, oh, it's like open world combat, but there was a turn based option.
Yes, there was a turn-based option to you couldn't use the power for X amount of turns or something like that. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you what, this was my first Final Fantasy, and this was
That was your
16.
first?
This was my first one, and this
You
is the
never
last
played
one.
like the OG, like 7, the 7 remake?
Nope,
You never played the Cloud story at all?
never.
Oh,
My
wow.
my coworker at work told me try the demo for 16, which is free on the PlayStation Store, and if everybody wants to play it, it's about a 2 hour demo. And if you like it and you buy it, that progress goes into the game. So then you just
Oh, shit.
you continue on. So that's where he told me he goes. If you don't like it, you delete it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? It's free. So I fell in love with it. I thought the demo was great. The way it finished off was excellent. So then I bought the game, and it was a phenomenal story. The character building, the character building, the oh my gosh, the characters detail. I'm thinking of the proper word, but you get where I'm going. Is that
Mm.
the character development? I couldn't believe I didn't
This
have to
is
say
this is the Clive story.
the Clive story exactly. Yes,
Yes.
like
Okay.
and around all his friends and his comrades, that was a great storytelling that they did. So but to go back on the combat is very action based. Mash the square button, changing your elements, and you're learning combos as you go on. So learning to parry and so forth. So with Expedition 33 now, that how great the story was and how the combat was fun, learning to parry and how immersive that we know the art style and everything in between for this game. It was a turn-based game, and to have a turn-based game now being in contention for Game of the Year for many people, that gives Square Enix and Final Fantasy some thoughts that is this the route that we got to go back to because we
What's
were inspired.
interesting,
They were inspired by Final Fantasy first. Remember that.
yeah,
It,
but this is my thing. It's like Final Fantasy has been around forever. Like that's one of the original like top tier turn based like fighters like combat games. So like still kind of shocked that people are like, oh, it's a turn based game. I don't understand why it's winning game of the year. It's like what? Like Final Fantasy was one of the classics of all
mm-hmm.
time. Just everybody played. People played Pokemon growing up. That was a
Everyone
turn based
forgets that.
combat
Everyone
game.
forgets that
Like
Pokemon
what are
was
we
that.
talking
Yep.
about here?
Because it wasn't. It didn't feel the thing with Expedition. It didn't feel like that for the most part. When you played
Well,
the
no, it
Final
didn't.
Fantasy, it was literally click a
It
button,
didn't.
and even the Pokemon games too. This game is bringing their idols. You know, what is it? What's the saying all the time? Your idols become your rivals, like type of thing. Can't remember it.
Bars. I don't need to talk about, but bars. Keep going.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Keep on talking to me. I want to find the exact quote.
you gotta find. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Final Fantasy is gonna take the turn-based combat style. I guess they're gonna go back to it because Expedition Succession. Sure. Expedition's turn-based strategy though is
Mm.
not like the originals, which is what you were saying before. Because Final Fantasy 7, 8, all the way up to 9, it was like, okay, you have your turn, then the enemy attacks you, then they have their turn, then you have your
Mm-hmm.
turn. It was like that. I would say Expedition did change to where like it turned that turn-based like combat upside down because where you had to parry and dodge when
Yeah.
the enemies kind of attack you. The only thing I kind of didn't like about Expedition is that I kind of wish the enemies would also parry and dodge your attacks. That
That
was a
would be
kind of
cool.
miss because
Yeah.
I would like
Well, depending
that.
on which one you, if you're fighting the flying ones and you went to
Well,
go
well,
swing at them, but you're talking about the bosses, like you wanted
yeah,
that
but
to be
exactly
harder
because
than what it was.
the flying ones they teach you like, oh yeah, just shoot at the
Just
flying
shoot at
ones,
them.
don't
Yeah.
attack against dodge. All right, sure, but I want to fight the duelist, right? But I want to fight him. I want to fight Simon, but he dodges and parries my attacks back. I
Yeah.
feel like that would change that game upside down and give it so much more of a challenge.
Yeah. And
That would
much
probably
more
be too
rewarding.
OP, but you know. So what's this bar?
So the bar is work until your idols become your rivals. And I
Okay.
think the team at Expedition is definitely making that because they could go head to head. And
Oh, yeah, 100%.
but the one thing I love about Expedition was that the story was not that long. It was
No.
easy, maybe 30 hours, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
JRPGs are like literally 100 hours minimum. That
Expedition was great because the story was short, but the world was so massive, so you could just go out and explore and just have the time of
exactly.
your life.
But Final Fantasy, if they do something
No,
like
Final
this,
Fantasy
it's
is
just gonna
not.
take forever. You're not gonna be
Final
able to beat the game.
Fantasy
I had one of
and
my other
like
coworkers at work that he was playing Seven, the whole remake, and was saying, "Oh yeah, I put about 100 hours in. I got to platinum this." I was like, I would not. I mean, I respect the grind, but you really
and
have to be a fan of that to want to do
all the
something like
stories
that.
tie into each other too. Don't forget about that one.
No, they do. Wait, I thought you. No, I thought the
Yeah,
elements tie in, not the
the
story story.
original
You're talking about
story of
Seven.
Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No
6. I think
way.
up until 9, they all tie together.
We need like a Final Fantasy expert to finally comment for us because from what I was told was that each Final Fantasy was its own story, but the elements of
Mm-mm.
the game was what was continuous. The summons they were all
Yes.
the summons all are in every single game, but the story
Hmm.
itself is different. For example, on 15, I
So
believe it's in
degree.
the future, and then 16, this is like ancient
I think it
times.
changed. I think it changed around
Because they don't talk about Cloud
13
in,
or
in
14.
16. Spoiler alert. They don't
No,
talk about
they
Cloud.
don't. Because that changed. That changed. I think it was like 13. 13 was like the one that went, or 13 or 14. It went open world. You could like drive around like a car now or something like
Yes.
that. That was like one of the first ones that it went like that route.
Yeah.
And that was different from the cloud story.
Okay. Yeah.
But 12, I think it was 11 and 12 had like some middle ground between both stories.
Okay. I mean, that's
It's
news
a
to
lot.
me,
It's a lot.
but it's not. But the main thing that the main director at Square Enix and for Final Fantasy, it's not a clear cut answer whether it will become all turn based or it's going to become more action based. So there is no final decision, but the thoughts are there, and I think as we save it for one of our later topics, we will see in December, and that would make the stamp of what the next Final Fantasy is going to have. That's what it
Probably.
is. But before all that, because I know I got you, we got to record the podcast on this lovely night, but I'm sorry to interrupt you for from your gameplay of
Oh, you're talking my trophy grind, man. I'm
your
trying to hit the
trophy
platinum
grinding. I
before
know you're
anybody
trying
else.
exactly. I know you're trying to get that platinum, be one of the top on PlayStation Trophies.com's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. Tell us how that's going. How's that been for you? Because I saw some
Tony
videos
Hawk.
that you got to even play at Bikini Bottom, if that's true.
I got to play what, sir? 7?
Bikini Bottom.
Oh yeah. All right, yeah. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 plus 4, the remake, by the way, not the
Mm-hmm.
classics, just came out recently. I've been playing since pre-order. It's fun, but I have the things I love about it, things I hate about it. Bikini Bottom, yes, is in the game. It's not a real level though. It's just like a
No,
little
it's a
Easter
hidden.
egg
It's a
like
hit. Yeah,
side
yeah.
level. I ran into it doing one of the challenges, kind of like went off the side of one of the areas. You land inside of it, and you're like, oh wow, you're there. Um, Damn, there's a lot. I'm on the trophy hunt right, the trophy hunt grind right now because it's not a bad trophy list. It's like very simple,
But
and
that
if you're
whole
good
game is
at Tony
definitely
Hawk,
trophy hunting because there is no story to that game, right?
so that's where my issue comes in. Um, so let's go back, right? So Tony Hawk 1 and 2,
Yeah.
that's like the original. The Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. it was very time trial based. There wasn't really a story.
Yeah.
Go do the challenges and these maps. You have 2 minutes to do it. Have fun. It was great. The the game flow. The like. I'm talking about Tony Hawk 1+2 remake, right?
Yeah.
They took it one for one on the originals, which is 2 minute time trial maps. Go through these challenges. It's very responsive gameplay. The music soundtrack is great. You have all your pro skaters. It's a classic.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that. Tony Hawk 3 had that kind of like time trial trick aspect, but had a bit more of a story tied to it,
Okay.
right? But then Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, before Tony Hawk Underground, right? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 was like the first like kind of like, oh, we kind of have like an open world story game now. Cause in the classic, not in the remake, in the classic,
Yeah.
you would go and you'll talk to NPCs, you'll talk to these characters. They'll give you a whole voice line and storyline. You go do a challenge and then they will tie something else. And then the more challenges you do, the more NPCs you talk to, the world kind of opens up, the map changes, and you have these experiences. Like these maps were huge compared to 1+2. It
Okay.
wasn't like this, it wasn't just like 2 minute time trial run. You had the challenges that were there, but certain NPCs, certain interactions will vary. It will expand the story and expand the map, expand the game. So there was a story in Pro Skater 4. Um, and then Tony Hawk Underground 1, 2, American Wasteland, then you had more of those immersive stories.
Got you.
However, Tony Hawk 3+4 remake, the one that just came out, that has been stripped away completely. Gone. And what they ended up doing was taking the 1+2 2 minute aspect of like time trial, do challenges, and just kind of like copy paste that into 3+4 with the maps. So you don't have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 maps like at its full extent. It's
Mm-hmm.
very like dumbed down. Some of them are as full extent, but it's very dumbed down. You don't have the NPC challenges and stories that you used to have. It's very like together. When I booted up the game the first time, I'm doing the challenges. I'm like, all right, high score, pro score, six score, whatever. And I'm like, wait, there was collect skate and collect combo, but yet I only have collect skate. Where did the combo go? And one of our boys was watching me play when the game first dropped, and I'm talking to him like, dude, there's a challenge missing here. He's like, what do you mean? Because I'm playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, the first map, college. I'm like, dude, there's a challenge missing here. Like, you're supposed to like collect these little like flamingo things or whatever. I'm like, I don't see it here. There's supposed to be an NPC I'm supposed to talk to, but I don't see that here. He's like, yeah. He's like, I remember that too, but I also don't see that. So when I beat the whole game, after you beat like the whole like story of let's say 3 or 4 because it's together, then you unlock pro challenges, and it's basically the other challenges that were in the game
That were just not present the first
that
time
were just
around.
not present the first time when in the originals it's present the first time.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
It's very dumbed down. It's very like bitter. However, it's still your classic Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. Very responsive. Graphics are great. You have all your pro skaters that are there. Um, the SA soundtrack was cool, but they
Yeah.
didn't put the original Pro Skater 4 soundtrack in there, which kind of pissed me off. I was like, damn, that soundtrack was amazing. So they kind of mixed some of the songs together, but again, it felt very stripped down. It felt like this was like something that they were building, and then they like stopped building it, and then it was like it seemed like they built out 3 because
Yeah.
the remake of 3 was great, but the remake of 4 it was on the fence about.
And how long have you been playing like to platinum it? It's like 20 hours maybe?
I haven't platinum it yet, but I can tell
But
you I
you're
have
you're
like
telling me like
maybe
estimate you're at 80% probably.
I could legit I'm at 77% right now and I only
Wow.
have 10 hours played.
Yeah, so not a long game. So if you
No, not really. And if you're good at it, you're gonna go through it like this. There's multiplayer modes, story mode, you have free skate, creative park, you have your sessions, you have all that stuff, and then you have all these pro skaters. So like you would essentially to get the platinum, you probably have to do the whole story with each skater. I think there's like up to 50 skaters. A bunch of secrets, Doom guys in it. They added
yeah, Doom
like
side.
D'Angelo from TMNT's in there.
Wow.
Manjera made his appearance. They didn't leave him out. Um,
Wow.
but this definitely feels like a Tony Hawk game that they were building, stopped building it, and then like finished it up and then put it out. And to the point of like, I thought Tony Hawk games were supposed to be done because after 1 and 2 came out with Vicarious Visions, the remake, there was speculation about 3 and 4 not coming out, the remaster not coming out. Something with like the studios, there was problems. So this dropped with no announcements or nothing. So it seemed like that they were building it, it stopped, and then it came back out. But I'm not sure. I'm just
Probably just
my conspiracies.
anticipation for Skate too, just to compete with them or whichever is
I
going
don't
on
know, man.
tomorrow. Hey,
Skate, Skate, and Tony Hawk. If you want somebody that's gonna take a classic and at least stay with the cult fan base and keep it classic, Tony Hawk is good at doing that.
mm-hmm.
With Vicarious Visions was great at keeping the original NeverSoft Activision style. That's how I feel. Skate EA, what they're doing with the original to what they're doing now, completely different. They cut ties so much.
Dang, I can't. I can't. I mean, listen. Whenever you talk about it, this is the only news I saw. Like, I'm not going to dive into that. So I just sit here and I just absorb it
Yeah, I'm
all. I
sorry.
just got
Like
the I got the biggest
I
blank
can
face,
rant.
just like okay, like I
I
get
can rant
you,
for hours about it, but
I got you.
as
But
of right now, though, I can tell you PSN profiles. I think I'm out of the top 50 list. I think I'm like 34 right now for getting the platinum.
look at that.
Um, I'm
Hard work
trying to
pays
get
off.
there. I'm trying to get, but I don't think I'm gonna be the first one because like I end up going to work and there's people like home still grinding. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But
We gotta
I'll
get
get
that
the
work from
platinum
home
soon,
option.
and then yeah, hopefully play on the portal.
No, of course. I mean, hey, look, I believe the portal was on a sale over the weekend. So if you guys missed out on the Prime deals, get them
It's
next
true.
time. But Tony Hawk is definitely, I could tell after your description, is definitely not going to be in the game of the year categories
I give
for
it a
this
year.
upcoming December because
Not game of the year at all.
we are at the halfway point, a little bit past the halfway point, I would say, with gaming and the calendar year as a whole because in December, as we all know, we get the VGA awards, the video game awards live on YouTube, live in Hollywood, I believe, on the West Coast. And this is
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
games of the year where you get these announcements, surprise announcements, obviously the flowers to those games that deserve the awards. But we mainly get excited for the announcements and the most important one, who wins game of the year. I like this
It's gonna
show,
be
Jules,
tough.
a lot. I do. And I know that we always need a fan vote for games because what your game of the year is not going to be my game of the year. So I get it that they have this unanimous, but we see the
That is
VGAs
true.
as the biggest. This is it. If you
I
win it, you
mean,
are game of the year.
game of the year right now, we have three hot contenders. There are three very hot contenders for game of the year right
Yeah,
now.
100%. Even though one has not come out.
One has not come out.
Yes.
But so far, what we're looking at is Expedition 33,
Wait. So how many? Before you continue, okay, you
Death
continue.
Stranding
Sorry.
2, and Ghost of Yotei.
Okay.
Those are my top three picks for game of the year. I feel like that's how it feels right now. Who's gonna win? Who knows?
So
But those are the top three hitters.
so just to keep everybody informed, when it comes to game of the year, there's a total of 6 nominations. So we just picked those three. One of them is not going to come out. The next one that I think
Not
will,
gonna come out yet. Yet coming out in October. Ghost of
uh,
Yotei.
oh yeah, yeah, but it's going to come out in October. Like it's guaranteed, guaranteed. If they do some fallback, then something must have a server must have crashed, and it never got
100% true.
revived. So the big thing is there's six. So we picked Death Stranding, Expedition, and Ghost of Yotei. The fourth one I think that will definitely happen is gonna be Metal Gear Delta Snake, whichever Metal Gear 3 because the remake, and
Okay.
because it's Metal Gear, you can't say no to Metal Gear. It's gonna be a part of it no matter which way you point it. But in reality, we've talked about it numerous times in the past. It's gonna come down to I believe Death Stranding and Expedition. The reason why is after beating Death Stranding 2, that was probably the best sequel, one of the best sequels I've ever played because it wraps up the story in total. It wraps up the character development that happened, and it was just such a great game to finish everyone's character arc, which is why it should win because the first one didn't win. It was a very unique play style that it doesn't. It's
Who
not Death Stranding one.
who won game of the year? When Death Stranding won, there was Death Stranding won nominated, right?
Death Stranding was nominated. That game came out in 2018,
Who
twenty
won?
seventeen. Let's see.
Who won game of the year that year?
Okay, give me.
While
Well,
that happens, we'll play some music, Jeopardy
Sekiro.
music. Oh,
Sekiro.
Sekiro. That's
That
not
was
so bad.
phenomenal game. Phenomenal, phenomenal
Yeah,
game.
I can see that. So You think this year Ghost of Yotei will take over the win over
No.
Death Stranding 2?
Or
Ooh, that'll
Expedition.
be
No.
tough.
But remember, Expedition 33. That's why it could go either way. I would love for
Exodus,
the Death Stranding to win, but once again, Expedition 33, the story, the art, the music, the combat style, to bring a turn-based game back into the mainstream that
that's also
everyone's playing
true.
it. That we even have friends in our chat that's like, you know what? After listening to us too, that they're willing to play that game shows a lot. And once again, we have two more. I believe they're thinking Split Fiction is definitely one of them because that company won
No, I can see that. Yeah,
Split
it takes
Fiction,
two.
and I forgot the last one.
Yeah,
Kingdom
I
Come
can see that.
Deliverance 2, they said, which is another RPG, a medieval one that they said it's all very immersive. But
I'm still. It's gonna be a hard fought battle between those three. It's like Death Stranding 2, the fan base, the story, Kojima, that's top tier. As you text me every day, this game is peak. Right?
yes,
Those are your
I'll
words.
be honest right now. The
X.
only thing I'm not having fun with this game is the mountain deliveries because to go up the slopes and everything was and falling down and trying to get to certain terminals has not been the best. And you have to 5-star all the terminals, and those things could take up some time. So I'm literally watching Attack on Titan on this monitor, and then I'm playing Death Stranding. So, because there's no more story after the game's done, you're just
You're watching
delivering. That's
Attack on
it.
Titan.
I've never seen Attack on Titan before.
You're watching it.
Yeah, I'm
Holy shit,
watching it.
that's new. That's new to me. What episode are you on? How do you like it so far?
I love it. I mean, you talk about some jaw dropping moments. It's that show is. I understand why people loved it. I had my sister
Yeah.
boyfriend tell me that, oh well, it's not really considered anime. I was like, it's as animation, right? He
Nah.
goes, yeah. I was like, that's an anime. But he's like, oh, but it's not like Bleach or these One
Well,
Piece with 1,000 episodes. I'm like, good. I don't want 1,000 episodes.
I'm
How about
I'm
that?
I'm
But I
excited
am
just to
on
finish that one out.
episode 16.
Yeah, finish that one out.
I'm,
I'm excited for that one. All
on
right,
season one.
let's go back to game of the year talk.
Okay, yeah.
Also, Yosai, Death Stranding 2, Expert 33. Death Stranding, we already spoke about that.
Expedition we spoke about.
Sorry, Expedition. I'm saying it's hot contender because it came from a double A studio. Short game, but like the gameplay, the story, the cinematics, the soundtrack, everything was top tier. But Yotai is like this game is probably like just everything off of the state of play seems like it's gonna be very immersive and very
Mm-hmm.
big. To where like this is gonna win a lot of fans over. So
Okay.
it's gonna be a tough top three. But I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yes. It definitely will be the tough one. But once again, you have another game that's going to come out, which is Metal Gear. And even though I wanted to talk to you about this one, which was, hold on, because I just want to see what one in 2020. Oh my gosh. Did not want that, guys. Come on. Sorry. As I look through what
They're
one
gonna put Jeopardy music is gonna play
the
over this.
Jeopardy music is definitely going to be playing over this because, okay, I did not need the long list. I just wanted to see what one game of the year. Okay. I had the nominees. So when Ghost of Tsushima was nominated for Game of the Year, the real winner of that one was The Last of Us Part 2. So,
Okay,
and once again,
not about
Final
that.
Fantasy VII, the remake, was involved. So another thing when it comes to these Game of the Year, because Metal Gear Solid is definitely going to be involved with Game of the Year due to the third one being the best one in the series of Metal Gears, for that to be, I don't agree that remakes, remasters should be nominated for Game of the Year. You had your flowers the first time around, even though it was a long time ago, because when Resident Evil 2 got remade, it got nominated. It happened already. So
So,
it should be
so
you should give the nominees to those who've never no remaster. Because think about it, when it comes to the PlayStation 10 or whatever, and we have a VR experience, you don't think you're gonna have Ghost of Yotei VR
what
experience, a
that's
whole new
this is
system
what
that we
that's what
now
I was
gets
gonna bring
Game of the
up
Year
was
again? Come on.
I was gonna bring up. So, do you not want to see the Last of Us chronological edition for Game of the Year this
Everyone
year?
at Naughty Dog should just be.
Yo,
It should just feel illegal
they're
to be putting
milking
more updates. You got Star
they're
Wars
milking that game.
Battlefront 2 that was on the top sales for last month, and they haven't made an update in 5 years. You guys just it's been literally 5 years, and you guys are still putting
They're
updates that no one cares about.
they're
No
milking
one
Last of Us.
cares about that. Watch, it's gonna be the chronological order for part
All right,
one. It
you ready for
doesn't
this
make
one?
sense.
You ready for this one?
What?
Because we have a friend. We have a friend. Um, Mr. Freddy, right? He's playing Days Gone right now.
Oh, great game.
You played Days Gone, right?
Great game.
I played Days Gone. A lot of our other friends play Days Gone. Um, you 100% Days Gone. You did every single
100%.
thing. You
Yep.
got you got the secret ending to Days Gone.
Yep.
Okay,
And that game will
one of
not get a
my
part two, guys. Sadly,
one
spoiler
of
because the
well, it
studio.
got it got remastered. Um,
Again.
However, one of my very 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 hot takes, especially if you 100% Days Gone, is it has a better story than Last of Us. And I'm gonna die on that hill.
That's a tough sword
That's
to
a
fall on.
very top one. But if
That's
you play
tough.
Days Gone and you did the whole story of Days Gone plus secret ending, it's a way better story than Last of Us.
Yeah. And once again, Days Gone is available everywhere, and sadly, they are guaranteed to not get another update because the studio
Nope.
just stopped. So, with The Last of Us, you might play The Last of Us, and then 3 years later, they're gonna be, you know what? It's gonna be the baby's point of view of the game, and that's a new update because it just doesn't make any sense to how this game. I'm so happy we put it out on TikTok and we got some feedback from that, but wow, I let me see that game be in the Game of the Year nominees, and I'll lose my mind. So
Last of Us chronological. Yo, if that becomes Game of the Year, that makes no sense.
yeah,
That just makes no sense.
you already
But we'll
had your
see.
flowers. You already won Game of the Year. What else do you need to do? So we'll see. We're already in July. We could visit this. We're gonna definitely have a whole preview show straight for. I could already vision us in December. We're definitely gonna have a preview show for every single category. That might be a longer episode for that
I'm
time
gonna
because
I'm, I'm gonna
we gotta
call it now
research.
though. I'm gonna call it now when VGA happens. We gotta wear like a suit and stuff.
No, I always said when we have our first guest, we gotta wear a suit and just throw them off. Just
Well,
whenever.
now you said something, they're gonna
But
know.
if but that's how do you know if they're like a if they're a real fan that we listen every single episode. So
That's
it's
also true.
so
We'll see.
that's something for those fans that have been with us since day one. So the first guest that we ever have, we're wearing a suit and they're gonna be
All right.
puzzled, and that's the whole point of it. Is we love to show love to those who love us. Love one as I've loved
We love
you.
that. We
I
love that.
think that's definitely said somewhere. But as we finish off this episode, thank you guys for listening once again. We hope you have a great week at work. We hope you have a great Monday. We hope that that cup of coffee tastes sweeter than usual because this episode was a sweet one. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. You have a great one. Good night
See ya.
and good day.